Both houses of parliament adjourned amid huge ruckus by opposition parties over farm laws. President Ramnath Kovind addresses convocation of Tiruvallur University, states India as third largest education system. Cabinet approves Pradhan Mantri Swasthya Suraksha Nidhi as single non-lapsable reserve fund. In Assam, scrutiny of nomination papers for first phase carried out today. 630 nominations received. And in cricket, off-spinner Ravichandran Ashwin named ICC Men's Player of the Month for February. A very good evening, viewers. Welcome to the Northeast News Bulletin from the studios of DDK Guwahati. This is Ashutosh Sharma. Now the stories in details. Both the Houses of Parliament were adjourned today amid huge ruckus created by the opposition parties over the issue of farm laws. The opposition parties hard-pressed on their demand of holding a discussion under Rule 267 over the farm laws. In the Lok Sabha, when the House met post-lunch after repeated adjournments, the opposition party members trooped into the well and raised slogans against the government. Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla expressed unhappiness over the ruckus in the House while repeatedly urging the agitating members to get back to their seats and allow the House to function. Meanwhile, in the Rajya Sabha, also, when the House met after the repeated adjournments, opposition parties started sloganeering against the three farm laws. Meanwhile, proceedings of both the houses are scheduled to resume on Monday morning at 11 a.m.
बिना किसी मुद्दों पर आप चर्चा नहीं करना चाहते, संवाद नहीं करना चाहते, आप अपनी सीट पर जाकर बैठो। मैं आपको पर्याप्त समय, पर्याप्त अवसर चर्चा के लिए दूंगा। सदन की कार्रवाई दिन में आज 12:30 बजे तक के लिए स्थगित की जाती है।
President Ramnath Kovind today, while addressing the 16th annual convocation of Tiruvallur University at Vellore, said that India has become the third largest education system in the world, but still has to aspire for greater heights. The President said that India's higher education system has expanded to reach out to serve the rural and marginalized sections of the society. He described that imparting quality education to students, many of whom are from economically and educationally backward regions, was a noble cause. Meanwhile, the President also expressed his happiness that 65% of the students in the university were women.
The system has expanded to reach out to serve the rural and marginalized sections. In the process, it has become the third largest education system in the world. India had a rich system of education prior to the British rule. Gandhiji described it as a beautiful tree that was cut down by what the British rulers called reforms. Children and youth will be educated to make learning a part of personal development while also serving the needs of the society. To this end, it brings together the best of our ancient heritage and the best of modern learning.
The Union Cabinet today approved the Pradhan Mantri Swasthya Suraksha Nidhi PMSSN as a single non-lapsable reserve fund for share of health from the proceeds of the Health and Education Cess levied under Finance Act 2007. The major benefit of PMSSN will be enhanced access to universal and affordable health care through availability of earmarked resources while ensuring that the amount does not lapse at the end of the financial year. It is a non-lapsable reserve fund for health in the public account, and proceeds of share of health in the Health and Education Cess will be credited into PMSSN. The accruals into the PMSSN will be utilized for the flagship schemes of the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, namely Ayushman Bharat, Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana, Ayushman Bharat Health and Wellness Centers, and National Health Mission and Pradhan Mantri Swasthya Suraksha Yojana. Tirath Singh Rawat was sworn in today as the new Chief Minister of Uttarakhand. Prime Minister Narendra Modi congratulated Tirath Singh Rawat on taking oath, and while taking to his Twitter handle, said Rawat brings with him vast administrative and organizational experience. He expressed confidence that under the leadership of Rawat, the state will continue to scale new heights of progress. Meanwhile, it is mentionable that Rawat has headed the state unit of the BJP in the past and has been a state legislator. Being a member of the Uttar Pradesh Legislative Council, he was also the first education minister after the formation of the Uttarakhand state in 2000. In 2012, he was elected as Legislative Assembly member, and in 2013, he became Uttarakhand BJP chief.
के विश्वास पर पूरा खरा उतरने का प्रयास करेंगे। 4 साल माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी ने जो काम किए हैं इस प्रदेश के लिए उसको आगे बढ़ाएंगे।
In Assam, the scrutiny of nomination papers for the first phase of polls was carried out today. As per State Election Department, 295 candidates have filed 630 nominations in this phase. Several senior leaders, including Chief Minister Sarbananda Sonowal, State President of Congress Ripun Bora and Ahom Gana Parishad Atul Bora, are in the fray in this phase. Meanwhile, the submission of nomination papers is underway for the second phase. 39 seats are to be covered in the second phase, where polling will be held on 1st of April. The Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development (OECD) has raised the projection for economic growth rate by 4.7 percentage points at 12.6% for 2021-22. This would enable India retain its earlier tag of the fastest growing large economy in the world. OECD said activity moved above pre-pandemic levels in India, helped by strong fiscal and quasi-fiscal measures and a recovery in manufacturing and construction. As per OECD, the Indian economy was projected to decline by 8% in the current fiscal year. However, OECD believes that contraction would be less steep at 7.4%. India's premier off-spinner Ravichandran Ashwin was today named the ICC Men's Player for the month of February for his stellar show against England in the 4-match Test series at home, which India won to qualify for the World Test Championship final. Ashwin, who scored a total of 176 runs across these games and took 24 wickets, was the unanimous choice to win in the men's category for February and garnered the most votes in the fan vote, said ICC. Meanwhile, Ashwin also played in 3 tests in the 4-match series, scoring 106 in the second innings of India's second test victory over England at Chennai, and took his 400th test wicket in the third test victory at Ahmedabad. The Meghalaya Democratic Alliance (MDA) has completed 3 years in office on 6th March 2021. Briefing the media after a cabinet meeting, Chief Minister Conrad Sangma gave a short presentation about the achievements and future projects which, according to him, are up and running. Several projects pertaining to social sector, entrepreneurship, infrastructural development have been started, Sangma said.
A lot of projects like the beautification of Jowai, Shillong and Tura have not been mentioned out here because that's something that is going to start now. And as you can see from the presentation, a lot of work is going on. When I give the presentation on the budget, you will also see that I'll be explaining about the expenditure that has been incurred in the last financial year, or rather I should say this financial year, which is something that will also reflect the kind of work that's going on in the state.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi asked all BJP MPs to actively participate in the year-long celebrations of the 75th Independence Day while addressing the BJP Parliamentary Party meeting this morning. Meanwhile, party MPs lauded the leadership of Prime Minister Modi in tackling the COVID-19 pandemic and bringing the economy back on track. Parliamentary Affairs Minister Prahlad Joshi, while briefing the media after the meeting, said BJP President JP Nadda said the party's victory in the recent elections shows people's faith in the leadership of Modi. In the COVID update from the country, more than 13,59,000 COVID vaccine doses have been administered across the country in the last 24 hours. Union Health Ministry has said the cumulative number of COVID-19 vaccine doses administered in the country has crossed 2 crore 43 lakhs. Meanwhile, more than 20,000 patients recovered in the last 24 hours, taking the total number of recovered cases to 1 crore 9 lakhs 20,046. Presently, the total number of active cases in the country stands at 1,84,598, with which the cumulative positive cases in the country stands at over 1 crore 12 lakhs. However, 133 deaths have been reported in the last 24 hours, taking the nationwide death toll to 1,58,063. In the COVID update from the Northeast, Assam reported 282 active cases, 2,14,979 discharge cases, while the death toll is 1,096. There are 3 active cases in Arunachal Pradesh, followed by 16,780 released cases. The dead account for 56. With 30 active cases, Manipur has reported 28,895 cured cases, while tally for the dead is 373. Meghalaya has 14 active cases, followed by 13,815 released cases. The tally for the dead is 148. In Mizoram, number of active cases is 9, while cured cases stands at 4,415. The number of deaths is 10. Reporting 18 active cases, Nagaland has logged 12,108 discharge cases, while the death toll is 91. Sikkim has 50 active cases, followed by 5,990 cured cases. The dead account for 135. Saddled with 24 active cases, Tripura has logged 33,010 released cases, while the tally for the dead remains at 391. For more, viewers can also watch our bulletins and other programs on our YouTube channel DD News Guwahati. To end the news, main points once again. Both houses of parliament adjourned amid huge ruckus by opposition parties over farm laws. President Ramnath Kovind addresses convocation of Tiruvallur University, states India as third largest education system. Union Cabinet approves Pradhan Mantri's Swasthya Suraksha Nidhi as single non-lapsable reserve fund. In Assam, scrutiny of nomination papers for first phase carried out today. 630 nominations received. And in cricket, off-spinner Ravichandran Ashwin named ICC Men's Player for the month of February. Before taking leave, viewers are reminded to maintain physical distancing, regularly sanitize hands and frequently wash hands with soap. Remember to wear a mask properly and join the Mask Up India campaign by Doordarshan to defeat the pandemic. Mask Up India. That brings us to the end of this evening's bulletin. Thank you for tuning in. Namaskar.